I have a habit of calling RPGs a power fantasy because to me, they definitely are that. They make me feel smarter, stronger, and more resilient than I actually am in real life. So I wanted to flip that on its head and see what RPG enemies from popular series I could beat in a fight. I'm a grown ass man now and have the strength of a grown ass man, so I think it's time to finally test my capabilities. I'm going to take into account my endurance, my strength, but I will only be able to use all the things I was born with, so no weapons or anything. I work out almost every day because it helps me wake up faster, and I didn't just make this video to post my physique, so shut up if you were thinking that, and let's just get into the video. By the way, I'm sorry for telling you to shut up, you're actually right about that. I'm just really a narcissist, okay? The Dragon Quest series is probably going to be the best bet I have for this entire video, and it's still not very good. Slimes are an easy win for me, literally just stomp the thing out. They're just so cute though that I don't know if I would be able to bring myself to do it. On the other hand, metal slimes are a no. It's made out of metal first of all, and those things are agile as hell too. Plus, even if I had the strength, it'd run away from my ass anyway. All the other slime types are a huge loss. The pool slime would disintegrate my foot immediately on contact. And God forbid I fight a king slime. I'd probably get absorbed after trying to punch it and get stuck inside like the king slime sprite in Terraria. Almost all of the magic enemies are a defeat for me as well. I don't think they'd even let me get close before I get hexed or something. God forbid they use the fire spell and all of a sudden I have 3rd degree burns all over my body. Or I'll get impaled by those sharp ass icicles, I don't know what's worse. A lot of the smaller animal type enemies I definitely think I'd have an edge over though. I could definitely grab the Draki by the tail and start slamming it. But again, it's so cute that I'd probably feel bad about it. I think the scariest one to fight though would be the saber cat. I am done for. It's not the most dangerous, but my primal urges make me not want to encounter this thing. Essentially, I could survive early game, but anything past that and I'm just gone. But even then, something like a cruel cumber would stab me. It's only going to get worse from here as the next game is fear and hunger. I know I said it was going to get worse from here, but this is too far of a jump. It's like going from Disneyland straight to the Battle of Stalingrad. Before I comically describe how screwed over I would be fighting some of these guys, let me go over some I think I actually might have a small chance at. If we're being 100% realistic, I die of a heart attack before anything even gets close to me though. Me and my buddy actually made a tier list of enemies and we debated like those 2 guys in the School of Athens painting and tested it in RPG Maker with the unarmed mercenary character. We had a lot of enemies that we already knew I had no chance against.
I'm gonna put this here, you're dying to this, you're definitely dying to this.
The villager with a pipe I could hopefully overpower, steal his weapon, and bash him. This knife lady though is a no-go because I would need to unarm her twice, which I don't think I could make happen. I think I could take on a fallen cherub, but since they often fight in groups, I definitely struggle. The butterfly we'd agreed on I could beat, but why would I ever do that? With the prison guard, I came up with the really stupid but so crazy it might work idea. It has 3 legs if you know what I mean. And I was thinking if I could topple it over somehow, I'd have a chance to stomp it out while it's on the ground struggling to get up. Very unrealistic. I'm not beating the dogs though, it's over for me. Even one of them, I'm just not doing that. It's not at all happening. The Harvest Man is a mortifying opponent. I could probably snap its limbs like a twig, granted it doesn't do very NSFW things to my body. In game, it's decided by a coin flip, as are a lot of things. So let's say in real life, I have a 50% win rate against this. Just if I don't win, it's going to look exceptionally ugly. Voltail has us do a quiz against him, and if I answer the right things, it takes damage. Problem with this is that number 1, I don't know everything, and I'm sure to get one thing wrong, and if I do, I'm basically done for. And number 2, if I was fighting him in real life, it wouldn't be multiple choice like in game. I would need luck so astronomical, it's basically impossible. So yeah, no, I'm not winning this either. Some of the humans I can negotiate with, although if it's a battle to the death, I highly doubt any of them would be willing to take their life for me, so that's a loss on my part, a much less painful one compared to the others. The Mumbler is horrifying and has literal acid come out of its thingy here, which would disintegrate my face immediately. The Maniba would infect me with parasitic worms, so granted I do win, which is unlikely, I'd likely still succumb to it. There are a lot of others, and we discussed it for quite a bit, but these are the standouts I think. The rest of this will just be me talking about how I'd perish in increasingly darker ways, so let's move on to Final Fantasy. Okay, so this one is definitely going to be quite brutal for me. Even early game Final Fantasy enemies could be pretty perilous to a real person. FF12 is the first game where I think I could beat at least a small number of enemies. I could realistically down a cactype, but it would hurt really bad in the process. Forget about a lost cactoid though, that'd leave me in immense pain and I would succumb way too slowly for my liking. Dire Rats and Happy Bunnies are an easy win. It's really not much, but this FF game has the largest amount of enemies I could realistically fight against. When I go on to the other games, I mean, I could probably take on a goblin, it wouldn't even be that difficult. If you think I'm gonna fight fair, you're mistaken. A single kick in the nuts and it's over, and I'll just freestyle from there. I definitely don't want to go up against Skull Eater though, I feel like it earned that name for a reason. A Mind Flusher, I mean just look at it. Its lick attack also causes your health to go down slowly, so that would probably kill me even if I somehow managed to beat it. Swing it around like those ghosts in Mario Galaxy, that's the only bet I have at that point. A Malboro in any FF game will destroy me, especially an FF8 Malboro. Those things would not only ravage me apart, it also infect me with a plethora of diseases that my immune system would not know how to react to. And FF2 is a game where I don't think I could beat a single enemy. A were-rat, giant hornet, I couldn't even get the leg eater, way too spiky, and it's also called a strangler? It'd constrict my neck like a boa python. Same with FF7, I couldn't realistically take down anything from that game. God forbid I'm forced to face a demon wall, it'd be like a more intense version of the Star Wars trash compactor scene. All the enemies are either super menacing looking wildlife, horrors beyond my comprehension, or humans that will put me on a t-shirt within seconds. FF9 isn't much better, but I think I could at least beat a Moo hopefully, but they are quite big now that I look at it. I'd say there's a 15% chance I beat it, and even if I do, I doubt I'd survive the aftermath of bleeding out. I feel like its scratches would cut deep. So let's go on to another series, one where I stand more of a chance. It's the Mother series. Here we go. There are quite a few here I'd like to say I stand a chance against. The Rambling Mushroom would be easy to stomp out, granted I don't get infected first. And Mother 1 has the most amount of enemies I could realistically tackle. Bats, large bugs, dogs, this lamp, I mean literally I could just smash it on the ground. Even the crow I could probably take on by myself, along with at least half of the human enemies. Although the farmer would poke me bad, and Teddy would definitely beat my brakes off, and probably give me an atomic wedgie off a lamppost after that. And I don't like my odds with any of these zoo animals, especially not with the pissed off elephant. In the vehicles, I could go on the street right now and test it myself, try to fight a truck, and guaranteed I will turn flatter than Flat Stanley. Negative Man in Mother 3 is probably one of the easiest wins for me on this video, although I'd feel horrible doing it. Most of the wildlife enemies in this game also I think I'd have a good chance at. If I can dodge the magic attacks of the Iron Swine, I could expose its attached brain and leave it brain dead just by slapping it a few times. And I love to do a guitar slam with a gently weeping guitar. Is the enemy's name a reference to the Beatles song? I would not want to fight any of the pig masks though. They definitely have combat training plus guns. Shockingly, Earthbound is what I think I'd have the hardest time with. The 90s cops with no body cams would turn me into Rodney King before I could even get a hit in. And the punk kids I might actually struggle with. A hula hoop one is my best bet to be honest, but I know the skateboard kid would slam me and the bottom of that pogo looks a little too sharp for my liking. The spilled coffee is interesting because if it misses, I could easily shatter it to pieces. The drunk man is 50-50. Fighting a drunk person while sober seems like it'd be very frustrating. He either goes down in one hit or stays up way longer than I would like. That drunk rage will put you 6 feet deep if you're not careful. Essentially, these are most of the enemies I think I could beat. So let's move on to Undertale. This will be fun. First of all, my first thought with Tsundere Plain is an easy shoo-in. Tip one of its wings over and suddenly the ground is a field in Pennsylvania 24 years ago. Most Undertale enemies I'd like to think are quite weak, especially near the beginning. I mean they're fighting against a little kid in the game. And if I was a horrible manipulative person, I could communicate with them to catch them off guard before blindsiding them and boom, you're done for. If I had a muscle off with Aaron and won, the moment I'd attack, he'd probably place me in a deadly headlock. Most of these enemies are innocent cutie patooties that have no trouble with, except for the fact I need weekly therapy sessions afterward due to the amount of guilt I'd feel. And fighting Snowdrake's mother would just be really sad and unceremonious. The equivalent is beating up someone on life support. Parsnip is a very interesting enemy I think I might have a chance with, although the odds aren't guaranteed. It looks like it bites very hard, and it'd be difficult to get close with the sentient hair noodles trying to take a bite out of me as well. And I don't think I could beat any bosses. Papyrus may be goofy, but he definitely outscales me. Oriole's magic would burn me to a crisp, and Napstablook is a ghost. I don't think I can punch a ghost. Before the video ends, there are a few other series I want to cover very quickly. Paper Mario. I could beat a relatively large amount of the early game enemies. Even some of the late game ones like the daisies I think I could realistically take on. The Super Paper Mario enemies on the other hand, I don't want to fight this thing. With Chrono Trigger, right off the bat, it's a no for me and only gets astronomically worse as time goes on. The gauge always unsettled me, and it looks like it would slowly gnaw me alive when faced with confrontation. In-game, it only counterattacks though, so maybe we could have a battle of attrition and see who starves to death first. Unless it breaks its counterattack rule to eat me cause it's so hungry. And God forbid I have to fight any of the prehistoric enemies. The 7th Saga, this is just one big no. Look at these enemies. I mean, look at these enemies. Look at them. Not only would I lose, I'm sure they would make sure the process of defeat would feel as painful as humanly possible on purpose. This guy is 1000% going to commit a hate crime. And him, I might as well just take myself out before anything even escalates. That's all for now. This video mostly consists of me coming up with very imaginative ways detailing how badly I lose to man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. So anyway, if there are any enemies in this you think you could beat or couldn't beat, tell me about them. Maybe you're a better fighter than me. Probably. Good day, good night, good evening, and everything in between. Peace out.